You think Goku or Saitama are strong? Cute. These beings don't fight for power. They are. Some created reality, some rewrote it. One of them is you. Here are the 12 most ridiculously overpowered characters in all anime. Kami Tenchi. Imagine being so powerful that your warm-up animation counts as a war crime. Kami Tenchi isn't just strong. Calling him a character feels like calling a black hole a flashlight. He's not power scaling inside the universe. He's the universe's source code, and not the clean kind. The kind written by a programmer who's clearly lost his mind and his marriage, which is basically every programmer. Tenchi Muyo starts off like your typical harem sci-fi. One normal guy surrounded by alien girls. Accidental chaos everywhere. Turns out, Tenchi Masaki isn't ordinary at all. When he's attacked by a space pirate, he awakens the divine bloodline of the Jurayan royal family, and eventually transcends into Kami Tenchi, a glowing silhouette of infinite light that makes the gods who created reality question their life choices. When his true form shows up, logic packs its bags. Time doesn't tick. Space files for unemployment. The three goddesses of creation, the Chao Shin, literally admit they can't even comprehend him. And the wildest part, he doesn't even fight. When god tier villain Z flexes multiversal muscles, Tenchi transformed once, and Z froze like a Windows update. Kempty Tenchi doesn't use powers. He's the concept of power. He exists outside space, time, and probability itself, controlling every outcome like he's speedrunning existence. Next time when you argue Goku vs Saitama, just remember, if Kami Tenchi sneezed, the debate would become a prequel, because at the top of every power scaling chart sits the guy who doesn't even need one. Featherine Augustus Aurora, the strongest witch in fiction, and probably the reason God doesn't check his email anymore. Featherine Augustus Aurora from Umineko no Naku Koroni isn't just a character. She's what happens when a writer gives up on power limits and just hits enable God mode. Her universe is pure chaos, witches debating reality, mortals rewriting history, and logic itself being bullied by magic. If physics had a voice, it would file for harassment. And right in the middle of it all sits Featherine, sipping tea while omnisciently narrating every outcome like it's yesterday's gossip. She's elegance weaponized. Golden hair, crimson dress, that calm smile that says, I've already seen every way you'll lose. And that isn't her final form. That's just her cosplay. Behind that lies something that isn't even bound by existence. The embodiment of infinite knowledge itself. Basically what boomers think ChatGPT is going to be next year. Featherine doesn't cast spells. She rewrites the story. She can erase entire timelines, edit universes like a Word doc, and make any event, even death, optional. She literally views reality as a draft she can tweak at will. And when other god tier beings show up to challenge her, they don't get into a fight. They get patch notes. Her mere awareness reshapes worlds. Her understanding is the weapon. She's the end result of what happens when intelligence stops playing fair. Featherine didn't even train for her power. She just exists beyond time, death, and reason. So when people say Featherine versus Kami Tenchi, that's not a fight. That's two authors comparing who can write the bigger plot dominator. Zeno. Proof that Dragon Ball's strongest character is also its biggest writing mistake. Zeno looks like a jelly bean with Wi-Fi, but blink wrong around him and boom, your entire universe gets uninstalled. Everyone calls him cute, but that smile, that's the same smile he had when he deleted 6 timelines because he was bored. Zeno is the Omni King, the literal top dog of Dragon Ball food chain, ruler of all 12 universes. Even the gods of destruction bow like school kids caught skipping class. Goku might punch planets, Beerus might sneeze stars out of existence, but Zeno is above all. He decides you never existed. No ki, no aura, no dramatic yelling, just a wave of his tiny hand. And entire realities disappear like old browser tabs. And the scary part, he doesn't even seem to understand how strong he is. The guy erases universes the way toddlers pop bubbles. He's erased gods, mortals, timelines, and probably half of Akira Toriyama's drafts. So yeah, Goku can Ultra Instinct all he wants. Zeno could erase that transformation mid-animation. But the problem is, in all of Dragon Ball series, whenever we get a new powerful being, we also see how Goku and Vegeta train their asses off to beat them. Because beating an unbeatable enemy is the whole point of Dragon Ball. Anti-Spiral. Imagine becoming a god and deciding your new job is fun police of the cosmos. The Anti-Spiral is the cosmic killjoy of Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. You know, like that one guy in the group who snitches. While everyone else in the universe is evolving, growing, and screaming louder than physics allows, the Anti-Spiral said, nope, too much fun. Let's cancel progress itself. Born from a species that literally reached enlightenment, the Anti-Spiral represents their collective consciousness. It's an entity with a hive mind. They don't have any individuality because they gave it up to stop the universe from evolving. And they did to save it. Anti-Spiral doesn't even have a real body. Just a cold, faceless, geometric entity that radiates, I will delete your dimension and feel nothing. His power is ridiculous. He manipulates time, space, probability, entire galaxies. He creates universes just to flex and erases them the next second because he's bored. During the final battle, the Anti-Spiral summons an entire reality made of despair. Galaxy-sized mechas struggle to even move under his control. His attacks reshape space-time. His mind controls probability, and his logic is the most terrifying weapon of all. If no one evolves, no one destroys the universe. And yet, despite his power, Team Daiguren, powered purely by friendship, passion, and raw yelling, actually defeats him, not because he was weak. Ultimate Madoka. Zeno can erase your universe with a wave, but Madoka will delete every version of you across every timeline. Puella Magi Madoka Magica starts like a cute magical girl show, then sucker punches you with cosmic horror, quantum timelines, and emotional damage. Madoka begins as the kindest girl in class, until she wishes for every magical girl across all space and time to be saved from suffering. That one selfless act instantly promotes her from middle school student to cosmic administrator of reality. When she ascends, she becomes a glowing celestial entity, light stretching across galaxies, hair flowing like a starlight. Instead of fighting evil, she deletes the concept of it. Witches don't even get born anymore. She erases them before that even happens. Somewhere out there, Satan is just filing for unemployment. Her abilities are broken beyond reason, rewriting timelines, collapsing dimensions, and safeguarding every magical girl across infinite realities. Her power isn't measured in strength. She exists outside life, death, and causality itself. Her power is measured in how much meaning she rewrote out of existence. Arceus, the god of all Pokemon, who somehow lost to a Pikachu with plot armor. Everyone knows Pokemon, but a few realize that Arceus isn't just another legendary, he's the legendary, the alpha Pokemon, the architect of time, space, and whatever logic still exists in that universe. Arceus looks majestic, glowing ring, golden hooves, divine aura, the kind of creature you'd expect to speak in ancient riddles. But he gets caught in Pokeballs by 10-year-olds who can't legally drive. According to Pokemon lore, Arceus literally created reality. Space, Dialga, time, Palkia, Antimatter, Giratina, all spawned from him. He's the reason those universes ever run. His powers are absurd. He can duplicate himself, bend dimensions, rewrite type matchups mid-battle, and casually alter that reality. By every metric, he's untouchable. He existed before time, shaped creation, and embodies the balance of everything living. But the funniest part, in his own universe, his downfall isn't another god. It's turn-based combat. Misogi Kumagawa. Ever wish something never happened? Kumagawa can do that. And that's exactly why nothing in his life matters anymore. From Medeka Box, a series that starts like your average high school battle anime and then spirals into fourth wall breaking madness. Misogi Kumagawa is what happens when the universe gives failure superpowers. He looks harmless. Messy hair, slim frame, constant grin, but he's not a hero, not a villain, not even a tragic genius. He's a professional loser, the kind of guy destiny keeps kicking. And somehow he thanks it for the pain. Because here's the twist. Kuwagama's ability, all fiction, lets him erase anything that has ever happened. Wounds, defeats, deaths, even abstract ideas, all gone. Rewritten as if they were never real. He died? Erased. You kill his friends? Erased. Reality tries to move on? He presses backspace on existence. His feats are ridiculous. He once erased the concept of color itself, turning the entire world black and white just because he felt like it. And when he faced beings far stronger than him, like Medeka Kurokami, who could end him instantly, he didn't win. He just made his loss not exist. Bro basically gaslit the universe every time he suffered a little bit. Ajimu Najimi. Kakashi has 1,000 skills and Ajimu calls him cute. Ajimu Najimi has 12 quadrillion. From Madoka Box, the same universe that gave us Misogi Kumagawa, Ajimu Najimi is the concept of too much power packed in a high school uniform. She looks harmless, with a calm smile, long hair, the quiet upperclassman vibe. But that's just a disguise of a being who's lived through over 3 trillion years and watched every possible story begin, peak, and end. She doesn't fight in the traditional sense. Why would she? When you've got 12 quadrillion skills, combat is just pure performance art. Immortality? Check. Time manipulation? Obvious. Reality rewrite? Of course. Her powers are meta-powered. She's been sealed away because the narrative had to put her in timeout so the story could function. And the best part is that she doesn't even care. After countless lives and infinite outcomes, she's bored of winning. She's seen every ending, felt every emotion, and transcended the point of purpose itself. Nanika. We've all heard of a genie that grants 3 wishes. But what about one that gives you 3 consequences instead? Nanika is one of the most unsettling characters in Hunter x Hunter. Not because she throws punches or flexes in mastery, but because she doesn't need to. Her power is about obedience. She appears as a soft-spoken child, quiet voice, big eyes, gentle smile, but behind that innocence lies something not human. Nanika isn't really a girl. She's an entity from the Dark Continent, a place so dangerous even the world's top hunters avoid it. And somehow she's sharing a body with Aluka Zoldyck, one of the most dangerous bloodlines alive. Her ability sounds harmless at first. She grants wishes. You ask, she delivers. She can heal mortal wounds, restore lost limbs, and even bring the dead back to life. But then comes a price. After a wish is granted, Nanika makes requests. Refuse them and she doesn't get angry. She just starts erasing people. First you, then your family, then anyone who shares your DNA. The rules are simple, but the consequences are biblical. She once healed Gon Freaks after he destroyed his body fighting P2, something even the best doctors and Nen users deemed impossible. In seconds, she rewrote biology itself. That's the horror of Nanika. She doesn't fight at all. She just makes outcomes. Her power isn't raw strength, it's divine authority, dressed as gentleness or kindness. Nanika represents the most terrifying kind of strength in Hunter x Hunter, because when she whispers, "Can I help?" what she really means is, how much are you willing to lose for it? And your answer doesn't matter, because she takes whatever you owe. Lena in verse. We've all heard of the Giga Chad, but have you heard of the Giga Slave? A spell that is extremely strong. Meet Lena in verse, the deceptively tiny sorceress from Slayers who treats god-level destruction like a party trick. At first glance, she looks like your average loud-mouthed adventurer, jokes, confidence, and an appetite that could bankrupt kingdoms. But beneath the snark is one of the most terrifying magical minds in anime history. In a world packed with demons, dragons, and divine magic, Lena's greatest weapon isn't her staff, it's her brain. She's a genius with a temper. And when she finally snaps, she brings out the spell that terrifies even the gods, the Giga Slave, which is not just a spell, it's a summoning of annihilation. It channels the essence of the dark god Shabranigdo, a being whose mere awakening could end the universe. When Lena casts it, entire landscapes vanish, mountains crumble, oceans boil, and fate itself flinches. And here's a twist. She learned it as a teenager. Every time she uses it, she risks erasing everything, herself included. Yet she still fires it off when the situation looks hopeless. I don't know if that's courage, but it is cosmic gambling with the universe on all in. Lena's powerful because she's smart enough to weaponize recklessness. Her mix of genius and chaos makes her one of the deadliest mages ever written. Truth. What if the strongest anime character has always been you? Truth from Fullmetal Alchemist isn't a hero, a villain, or even a god. It's the final boss of existence. The cosmic mirror that stares back when humanity reaches too far. When Edward and Alphonse Elric try to resurrect their mother, they don't summon a monster. They summon truth, a being that embodies the ultimate law of alchemy, equivalent exchange. For everything you gain, you must give something of equal value. And truth is the one who collects. It appears as a white, featureless figure surrounded by eyes and hands. An image so simple it feels divine because it looks like the idea of awareness itself. When you face it, you're not looking at a god. You're looking at the universe reminding you already knew better. Truth doesn't throw punches, shoot beams, or scream monologues. It enforces balance, instantly, effortlessly. It can take your body, your mind, your soul, and it does so without cruelty or mercy. Because it's not evil, it's math. You break the law, it collects the debt. The Elric brothers learned this the hard way. Edward loses an arm and a leg. Alphonse loses his entire body. And yet truth still gives them a chance to earn it back. Not from kindness, but balance. Truth doesn't hate humanity. It just remembers the rules better than we do. No being can defeat it because it doesn't fight. It simply is. And that's why it's terrifying. Because truth isn't just in the story, it's everywhere. At the end of every path, every question, every mistake, you meet it. And when you do, it smiles and says, "You finally understood. I am what you've always been seeking. I am you." Haruhi Suzumiya. Imagine having a girlfriend whose mood swings don't just ruin your day, they rewrite the entire universe. Haruhi Suzumiya from the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is the most dangerous kind of god. The kind who doesn't even know she is one. What starts as a simple high school slice of life, a club full of weirdos hunting for aliens and time travelers, slowly reveals a truth more terrifying than any horror anime. The universe exists to keep one girl entertained. Haruhi looks like your typical energetic student. Yellow headband, loud, confident, impossible to ignore. But her mind doesn't just influence people, it rewrites reality. When she's bored, time loops. When she's happy, miracles happen. When she's sad, well, existence starts glitching. She doesn't control it consciously, which makes her power even scarier. Her subconscious decides the rules of physics. Her emotions dictate what's real. She wills timelines into existence just to keep things interesting. There's an entire time loop arc where Haruhi unknowingly traps everyone in the same 2 weeks for 15,532 cycles. That's roughly 595 years of repeating summer vacation, all because she felt something was missing. The gods didn't create Haruhi. Haruhi created the gods and then gave them homework. The craziest part, she doesn't even know everyone around her, aliens, espers, time travelers, are secretly working together to keep her from realizing her power. Because if she ever gets too upset, reality ends. Also, I'm looking for donations in the form of subscribes so I can make part 2 of this.